Here are three things that I like to do in my classroom to help promote uh, inclusive teaching in the classroom to make sure that all the students feel like they're involved in what's going on. On the very first day of class, I usually write this expression up on the board. Good morning, Professor blank. And have the students read along with the good morning, Professor. And I get Jewel and Gel and Jahel and Gel. I don't get the proper pronunciation of my name ever, which is in fact Yale. And I like to do this because I'm going to tell the students that I'm going to give them that first opportunity to brutalize my name before any brutalization happens to any of theirs. Some names just aren't easy to pronounce. So I like to then have the students then introduce themselves while I'm taking my first attendance. This allows me to uh, take notes on pronunciation, what the nicknames are, what the appropriate surnames are if they need it, etc. And then I like to ask the students to tell me anything that I should know about them. I don't explicitly state, socioeconomic status or anything like that, but just is there something I ought to know, or their classmates ought to know? I like to then make sure that they understand in advance before I ask this question that if there's something that I should know but they don't want the whole class to know, make sure they contact me after class and we'll get there. Early in the semester, I like to do one initial project where I can assign the project teams, usually 3 to 4 students together. Uh, Early in the semester, I'm observing who the buddies are, who tends to sit together, how they cluster, because when I assign this initial team, I want to break up some of those clusters, not because I'm mean, but because I want to make sure that students get in contact with students they're not familiar with people who aren't their buddies. I'm also looking to see which students don't seem to cluster together with anybody to make sure that they get into some group. Often making sure that I team these students with somebody who seems to be reasonably gregarious in the classroom environment. When I create these teams, I'm making sure that they're mixed as well as I can mix them. Gender, socioeconomic status, race, ethnicity, trying to get these students in touch with students who are not like them. Uh, and then each project, I do try and shuffle these teams up, making sure that uh, I'm watching the teams as they go along, see where there are students who need some help getting along a little bit better, make sure sometimes putting the steamrollers all together in one group and letting them steamroll each other. But this is something I'm watching my team makeup as the class goes along to make sure that each team I assign has some rhyme or reason to it as I get to new projects. And finally, I like to have at least one, if not more, uh, projects which promote inclusivity. One that I find to be reasonably enjoyable is to find somebody who's underrepresented, who's been in your profession or your proposed profession, in my case it'd be engineering, in the past, and write a report about them. Small report, just what did they do? Um, when did it happen? How does that impact the world? And then, in addition to that, think about what barriers that person might have come across as they progress in the profession. And what I find really interesting is have them propose a question, something they might ask if they were actually able to sit down and interview this person. This allows you to think about something that you might want to know about how that person got there. And I do like to make sure, as a separate item, that they look for someone who's not like them. For instance, uh, uh, having the men students think about women in their field, having Hispanic students think about uh, Afro-American students in their realm, etc. Find somebody who's different than you